To say you gotta know somebody, oh know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, 'cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, 'cause you know that's alright.
There we go. We're supposed to be recording these conference calls so we can have them for later. So anyway, you guys, a lot of times deals come up or questions come up here that are pretty valuable for everybody to listen to. And we probably, once we get the membership side of our website up, we're going to have like some conference call archives and stuff like that. So it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. So I need to get your autograph on that book, Phil. The girl that was working for you last time at Mike's. I bought it when I came to Mike's, and I picked it up on my way out. I didn't have time, but she said you love signing them, and I'd love to have your signature on it. So I'm coming to Mike's on the 30th, and we'll get to chat some more.
Great, I'd be happy to do it. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, I want to hear about the new rules, the lending rules. I'm thinking it has to do with the crowdfunding, that type of borrowing.
Yeah, that's correct.
Partially, but also there's the solicitation guidelines have changed quite a bit too. And then there's some neat things coming along with seller financing in Pennsylvania as well, or already came along, I should say.
Mhm. Good.
Has anybody bought anything recently you want to talk about? Tell us a little about a deal you did. Mike?
Yeah, I'm buying a house in Deptford tomorrow. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. It could be a rental or flip. I'm decided yet, so I'm going to keep my options open. Estate sale. Grandfather's house. The grandson was a caretaker, and he passed, and now the family just wants to sell the estate, just wants to sell it. So
how'd they hear about you?
Actually, place I get my oil change, I put a couple business cards there and talking to the owner and told him what I do, and
awesome.
He was talking to another one of his customers a couple months back, and he was telling him, hey, I was telling him the situation. I'm looking to sell my house, and he brought my name up. He said, "This guy that gets his oil change here, take his card and call him." And we went back and forth for about a month, and we're closing tomorrow. Pretty good. Gotta get your name out there,
Yeah, tell everybody what you do. I think the first wholesale deal I did, which I got a house under contract for $50,000, turned around and sold it for $65,000 within like 10 days. I found the buyer sitting in my dental chair. It was one of the dental assistant's husbands that had a construction company and had some money in a mutual fund and wanted to take it out and buy a piece of real estate. So it's always about telling people what you do. Nicest thing about those referrals is that, and a lot of the marketing that we do is geared to get people to call us and contact us. And when that happens, you're really operating in a vacuum. It's not like they're going on the internet like Ed does and look for every We Buy Houses guy out there. A lot of people don't know that industry even exists, So they think like, I talk to a realtor. But if they say, hey, I got a neighbor who buys houses for a living. Oh, wow. You mean I can save commission and go to them? Great. So you usually are operating in a vacuum. And that's the great thing about getting people to respond to your marketing instead of, buying houses that are already for sale.
And plus, anybody who deals in customer service is dealing with, what a great place, where you get oil change, just in conversation, especially when that guy goes back, he's going to be happy that the deal went through, and, hopefully, in fact, I'm going to go see the guy in the next couple of days and, give him a little something as a thank you, and, hey, don't forget about me next time, because I'm sure that he's not the first person that, was telling him about a house that he needed to sell. So, it's really how it is. Just takes time. You got to build it up, and, Everybody.
I'll tell you, barbers and hair salon, those kind of people, bartenders, those are really good people to tell because they got people, telling them what's going on in their lives all the time. They got a captive audiences. People sitting at a bar or people getting their hair cut. They're talking to those people about everything that's going on in their lives. And if you make friends with enough barbers, you just have to get a little bit taken off your hair at 5 different places.
I can't go that route. My wife is a hairdresser. I'd have to sneak around. That one wouldn't work. But she can sure push and put my name out there and what we do.
Well, she's a hairdresser for other people?
Yeah, she's a hairdresser in a high-end salon. Yes, exactly.
Well, you gotta put the word out there that if she hears somebody talking about selling their house or getting split up or dealing with an estate, she has to keep in mind that all those people are potential clients. So
absolutely, yep.
She's a referral partner. She's the one that you have to get in the graces of. So hopefully you're there. Yep.
So I had a question because when I went over this first woman's home, and I was talking about me purchasing the home and as opposed to her going through a realtor and listing it, I think I was the first call. I was the first person that she's spoke to about getting rid of the house. It was her parents' house. They had passed about 4 years ago. It sat. And one of the things I wasn't exactly sure about was what is the common term for a realtor's listing these days? Is that a 90-day or a 6 months? I mean, I know everything's negotiable, but what is common?
I'd say nothing is common. It's, if I'm sitting in front of a client trying to get a listing, and they are only comfortable with doing a month, I do a month,
Yeah.
Typical RE/MAX office, they don't own their own office like I do, so they're much more rigid. They probably want them to do, a minimum of 6 months, but it could be anything. There's no set rule. It's strictly, a seller and a realtor trying to both get something out of the transaction.
Yeah, I would say 6 months or a year is what people, humans are weird and they like to, go around round numbers and stuff. So rarely you're going to see a listing that's, I'll list it for 100 days, It's going to be 90 days or it's going to be 6 months or it's going to be a year. And and I would say, if you start marketing to people that haven't had a price drop within 6 months, there's some good candidates there, or haven't had a price drop in a year, Last time there was activity on their listing was, I don't know, however many months ago. You can find some stuff. I mean, there's a lot of times that we're looking at properties that the person is stubborn in their pricing and they haven't lowered it, and everybody's coming around giving them a lower offer and they haven't taken it, and we can come around and give them a full price offer and do some owner financing. Or, you have to look at the reason why somebody's not moving their listing. I mean, sometimes people are, they're so close to being underwater, but not underwater, so they can't lower their price. And the nice thing is you can check the public records and find out what loans they have on the house, and you can kind of take a guess at why it is that they're not budging on their numbers. And the listing time, like we said, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but we were talking about, sometimes the listing is on your side, the listing agent's on your side when you're the guy that's at the last hour giving them an offer. So the listing agent is more likely to promote your offer because then they get paid,
Absolutely, sure. Leads me to another question about the Board of Assessment, Revision of Taxes, and Bucks County. They're on their website. When I'm searching through properties, I don't get any information as to whether they're current or not on their taxes. Do you guys have a source for that other than going up to the municipal building?
I know Philadelphia has the current state of the taxes.
Philly does, and we use it all the time. But Bucks, I can only get names and addresses off of anything in Bucks. I can't find values or liens or anything like that.
We get the information from the MLS mostly, as far as what the liens are. As far as the taxes go, the Tax Claim Bureau has a website. Bucks County has like an old mainframe type computer system where you have to type in like SR for search record, and then you got to type in the person's last name, and you can't type too much or else it doesn't come up with anything. It's kind of a weird system. But I mean, if you have particular properties you're interested in, you could always just call down and talk to the tax claim bureau or talk to the local tax collector themselves, and just you can check the status. It's helpful if you have a parcel number because they can look it up more easily, but they can still look it up by address.
Yeah, I wish the Bucks County website was as thorough as Philadelphia's.
Well, I tell you, let me take the opposite position. Let me take the opposite position with that. When Bucks County was so antiquated, there was an online mainframe system to even access the prothonotary, which is where like the foreclosures and civil suits are filed.
Yeah.
I will say the harder it is to get the data, the more gold nuggets you'll find in that data. Because if everybody had easy access to it, then everybody can market to that list. So actually, when the couple different counties started publishing their foreclosures list and all that stuff online, I was upset because I was actually sending somebody to the courthouse to get it, and there was very few people that would go into those lengths to do that. So I think it's the opposite. The harder it is to get, the less people are getting it. So if you take the step that nobody else is willing to take, you'll get results nobody else is getting.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. I've come to the other side. I'm glad Bucks County's website sucks.
Yeah, it's limiting the market. You know, we're buying down in Florida, and we get like the properties in Sarasota. It's unbelievable what we're doing. Like we get not only can we see like what permits were pulled in every house, and if they were open or closed, we can see the floor plans of the houses. We can see everybody's name and phone number who called to inquire about the permits of those houses, even if they were just like a tire kicker looking to buy a property that's on the market. We get all their names and phone numbers. That's unbelievable. Like anytime you call there and inquire about a property, they record your name and phone number and put it on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, that's not a bad way to get a buyer's list, find a junker house that's on the MLS and find everybody who's calling about it.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, I used to have a website, preforeclosure.com. I still have preforeclosure.com, but I used to sell the list of like foreclosures and stuff for different counties, and that's what I used to do, is to have people at the courthouses gather the data. And the moment they put it online, I'm just like, can't sell that anymore. Or maybe I could, and just there's a certain amount of people that just wouldn't know it was available, I guess. But whatever. The recorder of deeds, as far as the mortgages go, there is Bucks County uses this system called Landex, and Landex you pay for it. It's kind of weird. Like you actually pay per minute to access Landex website, but you can search for all the recorder of deeds, for the mortgages, for all that stuff right on that system. I have an account from there. I'll plop on like maybe $25 or something. And the issue is, like, you're on the website, and then the phone rings, and you take a phone call, and meanwhile the ticker, you're getting charged per minute for being on their website. It's kind of an antiquated thing. I mean, what's the purpose of being charged for a minute for being on somebody's website? It's like absolutely no relevance to, but that's how they charge.
Who's making the money, the state or this Landex company?
Well, the Landex company, sure. So check out Landex. I think it's just Landex.com, and Bucks County is one of the counties that are on there. Some of the northern counties are on there too, like Monroe, I think, and some other counties that are in like the Poconos and that area.
Yeah, but you're saying, I guess the question is, all that information that Landex is putting on there is available at the municipal building, right?
It's available at the building, but what I'm saying is, like, if I need to go on and get a copy of a deed, I log on to Landex, I put in the parcel number, I put in the person's name, and it'll show me every deed ever recorded on that property. It'll show me any mortgage on the property. It'll show me satisfactions, mortgage assignments. So, like, hey, this Chase was assigned over to U.S. Bank. I'll see the assignment. I'll see the, down to the notary and the signatures of everybody if you pull the documents. And they charge you per page, too. So it's per minute and per page. So if you download a PDF, they charge you however many pages of PDFs it is. You get charged a nickel. It's crazy.
Well, we know that turns into peanuts. That's nothing compared to
Oh, I know. It's just funny of how they charge and how antiquated. It's almost like dial-up access. You know what I mean? And actually, as of like 5 years ago, I remember having a separate phone number where I used to dial. Maybe it was 10 years ago, but I used to dial in to Landex with a modem. I used to dial in, connect, and you know what? They changed to online now, but the fee structure remains as if you dialed in with a modem. That's funny.
So what websites do you guys use on a regular basis? Do you? I guess you do all your comps through Trend, or do you like Zillow and Trulia and those? Or?
Yeah, we use. I mean, if you're on your cell phone, we just use Realtor. You can use a Realtor.com app, or you can use a Zillow app, or. But yeah, I mean, there's no comps that are better than MLS comps.
Yeah, but the MLS is a little bit slow as far as if you're looking for something real fast, like somebody comes walking into our store, I got Zillow and Realtor.com are pretty quick, and you just run on there to get a ballpark idea. But if you're getting serious and you're ready to cut a check for $100,000 to buy a house, you better do your homework. You can't trust those websites for that kind of thing. Right. You got to do that on Trend.
Yeah. I've definitely seen some conflict between the websites as far as values and some information. It's not always 100%. But
yeah, they're good for you driving down the street and you want to know what something costs. That's what they're good for.
Yeah.
I see Jim is on the line. Jim, I wanted to ask Jim a question about a corner duplex that we wholesaled to you guys. What are you doing with that thing? No comment?
Corner duplex? You talking about the one in Fishtown?
Yeah, Fishtown. You guys work on that yet, or what? Last time I went by there, it was still boarded up.
We did a permit and ripped out the floor, and we're busy on other projects, but we're talking about getting back to it. So probably it'll probably be like our winter project. We're gonna turn it into 2 apartments on the 2nd and 3rd floor and put something commercial on the 1st floor.
Yeah, it's a neat little, just a block up, you got that little coffee shop. I mean, it's a neat little neighborhood. We sold the house that we had. We had a house that we rehabbed that we later sold to, had our tenants move out and put it up for sale, and got more than we thought we would get for it. So.
Yeah, I think it's probably good that we waited, because that neighborhood's East Kensington's sort of coming up, and I know a woman just bought 3 lots on the same 100 block, and I expect some new constructions to start going up on that block soon.
Yeah,
any word on what's going on with that park that's adjacent to your property?
Yeah, I don't know if there's, I know the neighborhood community wanted it to become a park. I don't think that they've gotten anywhere with the city yet, but there was a whole bunch of houses on I guess the 1900 block of York that were up for sale for a while, and there's really no activity. But just recently, I've seen some people that look like they know what they're doing are rehabbing 3 or 4 of the houses on that block. So that's even another block towards Kensington Ave. So that's probably good.
Yeah, we're talking about everybody. There's a section, right on the border of Kensington and Fishtown. I like to call it Kishtown. There's a little section of regentrification that's going on where they're taking these old shells and they're making like green construction houses, and there's a lot of regentrification coming in. The neighborhood's changing a lot. The old people in the neighborhood don't like it, but because the property values are getting jacked up, but their taxes are getting jacked up, and they want to stay. But it's kind of like an artsy part of town in that area, and there's a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Kind of like Point Breeze, how Point Breeze was with all the construction going. I would say that this part of Kensington, Fishtown, is that same way.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice property you guys got there, Jim. Every once in a while I find myself talking about properties, and I'm thinking, man, we should have kept that one. I'm sure you're going to do fine with it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do something cool. The neighbors are kind of staying in touch with us, some of the people, the artsy people in the area, and that they want to make sure that we don't open like a pawn shop or anything. They want to make sure that it's something that contributes to the neighborhood.
Like a tattoo parlor. that actually might fit in there though.
That's true.
Okay. We sold ours for I don't know, $260,000, something like that.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a nice piece. We were actually buying. We didn't want to sell it really. We would have held on to that for a long time. We saw a lot of upside potential in it as well, but we were involved in buying somewhere in the range of $2 million worth of real estate in Florida, all in like 3 months, and we had to raise some money fast. So we were sort of selling whatever we could sell in Philly and just basically moving the money. We never even touched the money. It went from settlement into our bank account and got wired down to another title company. So we needed to raise a hell of a lot of money in a short period of time. So you do what you got to do sometimes. And that's definitely a good neighborhood to be investing in. It's just the only problem I have with it is it's governed by Philadelphia.
Yeah, I got 3 places on the 1400 block of Front Street underneath the L, pretty close to Front and Girard, and the development from Northern Liberties and Fishtown, and it's kind of all squeezed. Front Street's sort of like the last frontier down there, but there's a lot of good stuff happening underneath the L now. So hopefully it'll be good, real good for me in a couple of years.
It's about time. My grandmother, who has since left this earth, she used to have a bridal shop underneath the L, and she did great. And I remember, like in 1978, she sold it just because the neighborhood had run its course, and she said, "I'm getting out of there." And it was a very successful business for her. She did great down there, but that neighborhood is due to come back up. So, you're talking like she sold it in, 78, 79. So, 40 years by the time that neighborhood comes back. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I want to let everybody know we're going to be having a meeting at Mike's York Street Pub on September 30th. We're going to be talking about a lot of the changes that are going on with private money and your ability to solicit people for money now and crowdfunding. We're also going to tell you a lot about the deals that we've been doing in Florida as well as the deals we're doing up here. So, if you're available on the last Monday of every month, we have these meetings this month. We're going to be, this month and the whole rest of the year, we're going to be in Warminster. We like to move the meetings around. And this place is right at the corner of York Road and Street Road. It's called Mike's York Street Pub. You pay $20 and you get a full buffet dinner. And come hang out with us. The meetings start at 6:30. I'm also going to be speaking at the Berks County Real Estate Investors Association at the Inn in Reading, and that's going to be at 7:30 on October 1st. And we're going to be just talking about the different ways that we buy houses, how we use private money, seller financing, subject to all the different ways that we buy houses with none of our own money. And if you haven't heard us talk about that, you really should come out and listen to it, because there's nothing more important than learning how to buy with none of your own money. Because when you can do that, there's nothing stopping you. You just get up every morning, you look for deals, and you can buy almost all of them. And it's a great position to be in and a great skill to have.
The other thing that's coming up, Phil, is October 11th and 12th. We're doing a wealth conference with Christine Sherbert. She's a co-organizer of this thing. but there's going to be 2 days of success coaches, as well as real estate investor coaches, as well as other, sales marketing gurus, and the guy from like Real Estate Investor Black Book is going to be there. Bill Walsh, he's a power speaker. He's going to be there as an internet marketing guy. He's a guy that's talking only about how to set up ATM machines and stuff like that. So if you guys are available that weekend, it's what, a Friday and Saturday, Phil?
Yeah, it's a Friday and Saturday. It's going to be like 12 speakers all packed into 2 days. And a great opportunity to really learn something about real estate and about wealth. It's like $97 to get a ticket to come to this thing, and it's well worth it.
It's in Lafayette Hill, so like right near Plymouth Meeting area.
Yeah. I mean, the speakers are like Bill Walsh from Power Team International, Chris Goff, he's a real estate investor, Carrie Buck, who does residual incomes from ATMs, John Lees with a company called Wealth Dragon. He's a very respected international speaker. Sherry Tree, she does like how to increase your sales, close more deals using banks. The guy from Real Estate Black Book is Jason Palliser. He'll be there. Jerry Scriber, he's a guy who specializes in creating residual income. I'll be a speaker there. Christian Crescenzo is going to be there. It's how to make money through referrals in all different kinds of businesses, and it certainly works with like wholesaling and flipping houses. So, if you can go on just one day or something, it's still well worth it to go on Saturday, just hang out. All of the speakers who speak there are going to also have booths there. So, we're going to speak, for a couple of hours, but then we're going to be hanging out there in the booth. So you can just walk up and down the aisles and talk to some of these nationally known speakers who'll be hanging around. And a lot of serious real estate investors are going to attend this thing. So if you want to talk about networking and just getting to rub elbows with a lot of different speakers, it's a cool thing to go to. You can check out the tickets for it. We're going to announce it actually tomorrow on our meetup.com. So if you're on our meetup list, same place you got invited to this coaching call, we're going to announce it on that list tomorrow. So check it out. Be a cool conference to go to. This business is about who you know, and it's about what you know. And that's all it's really about. You don't have to be a genius to do this stuff. You just got to know a lot of people and know a lot of techniques on how to find houses, how to buy houses, how to raise money. You put all those techniques together and you can make a lot of money in this business. So, to see this many speakers would probably take you a year if you went to one meeting a month, so you get to see them all in 2 days. And then you get to go up and talk to them after they're done speaking. So it's a great way to really advance your skills in the real estate investing business. And Jeremy will tell you how he got. Jeremy, tell me how you got started in this business. What's the first thing you did?
Well, I got introduced. I had a friend of the family who was a district justice. So she was, one of the people that you'd file eviction in front of. And she knew of a landlord group that she referred me to. So I go to the landlords group to learn a little bit more about. I always wanted to buy a duplex, live in one half, rent out the other. And as I go to this meeting, on my chair as I'm sitting down is like a conference similar to what we're talking about, but it was a full weekend in Ohio. So I got up and I went to Ohio, and there's a ton of presenters. There's probably it could have been 20 presenters over a 3-day weekend. And one of them was on lease options, one of them was on foreclosures, one was on wholesaling. There's some really big names there. And part of what I would attribute my success to was I went and I consumed everything. I probably walked home with books and tapes and courses for about, at least 10 different people just from that weekend. And I had so much material, they would apologize. They'd say, sorry, we ran out of books. Can we ship it to you? I would say, yeah, please do. I can't carry all this stuff home. So I think Phil, Phil, you hadn't really done, the way that you had described it. I mean, I started out in the business and said I want to digest as much information as fast as possible. So my way of doing that was I bought, I probably spent $10,000 just the first weekend, and literally took a 2-week vacation studying everybody's stuff. And I would go, my first deal I did ever, I learned out of a book that I got that weekend, how to drive for dollars and track down owners and find properties. So, all that stuff is kind of, the culmination of all those different courses is what I think has led to me knowing all the different strategies, because I studied all of them, and I made sure that I made money using each of the strategies. And then I moved on to the next one. I learned how to do that and make money off of that one, and move on to the next one and learn how to make money. You don't have to do what I did and cover all the strategies and move on to the next one. It's kind of good to have a cookie cutter system too, where you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. But it really gave me a lot of breadth and depth to what my knowledge is in this business. So I recommend it. That's how I started.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to get started, because I did it the opposite way. I was like, school of hard knocks kind of thing. I went out and just started buying like crazy and, making mistakes and learning how to do things. And I wanted to learn construction. I wanted to learn how to build my own houses. At the same time, I was buying them, and I just went crazy, but I didn't really get a lot of professional expert help. And, I did very well in my career, but I think I would have done even better if I would have just taken a break and actually went and read some books, instead of trying to learn everything. But, we all know what kind of people we are. Some of us think we can conquer the world all by ourselves. Other ones go get help. I think you're much better off getting help. But I say that now with 25 years of wisdom behind me. So.
The golf is like a mine. It said that by the age, by the age of 50, I want to own enough good quality of real estate to give me month after month. I don't have to worry for the rest of my life.
That sounds like your ancestor, Phil.
Is he talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
All right. Well, does anyone have any other questions?
Much money, not in millions, but just the rent coming in, free of mortgage, nothing. That's why I want to make money now.
I don't know. What are we listening to? A TV show?
That could be some supreme wisdom raining down on us that we just can't hear.
Yeah.
It's coming from the fourth dimension. Well,
you do life.
Did you say the flip dimension? FLIP?
I said the fourth, but what are we? We're the third dimension. So.
Okay. Yeah, who's on the line? Somebody's calling from. Interesting. 905 area code. Yeah, who is it?
Maybe it's you? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's you. We hear you.
Hello?
Is it from Toronto? No? Somebody from Canada?
Yes.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. There we go. I thought it was Canada. How'd you guys hear about us?
Yes, on a meetup club on the internet.
Cool.
Great.
You guys,
okay.
You investing in real estate in Canada?
Honey?
You investing in real estate in Canada?
Yes, and try to on the States as it does well. And I got as a surprise. I didn't expect to be on online. Okay.
No, it's okay. It's good to have you.
And I was following the instructions, the conversation.
Yep. Phil has a real estate episode that he did, and his great ancestor from Italy was in this episode, and you sounded just like him in the background.
Oh yeah. Really?
Just the accent. So what we have a private investor that we're actually doing deals. We had presented a bunch of deals to. He's interested in investing with us, and he was from the Toronto area.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot of we're buying a vacation rental property in Siesta Key, Sarasota area. It seems like there's a lot of people from Toronto and Canada that are very familiar with that area.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with the East Coast, Florida.
What, East Coast?
Yeah, around Miami.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's an area I'm interested in. East Coast, Fort Lauderdale, or Miami Beach.
Yeah, good place to buy some real estate right now.
Yes, I'll be going there in November, and I'm going to try to find a good deal.
Miami is one of the markets that was, greatly hit with the economy going down.
Yeah. Miami is an excellent market to be buying in right now. We took a serious look at it, and the only reason that we didn't want to buy in Miami is because we thought the deals in Sarasota were even better. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with Miami. And it was a lifestyle choice, too. Sarasota's a little more laid back, a little more family-oriented. Jeremy and I are family men, and we thought it would fit better with our family lives. If we had property down there, that's where we'd want a vacation, and that's where we'd want to maybe even retire to. So that's the reason we didn't choose Miami. But there's no doubt it's a very good area to be investing in right now.
Nice to hear that. I checked a little bit all over the place regarding prices. Yeah, the Sarasota area is a bit expensive. Very hard positive cash flow.
We're buying multifamilies down there, and we're kind of all in for $150,000 per duplex. So you're talking $75,000 a side, and the rents are about $800 a month each side. So, and that's only fully rented as annual rental. What we like to do is furnish them and rent them by the week or by the month to Canadians.
Wow, that sounds.
Yeah, man, you really sound like Nicola Falcone. I'll tell you, you really do.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do me a favor and say "God damn it" a couple of times?
Phil doesn't curse nearly as much as his ancestor.
Well,
yep.
So how about Mike Andrews? I see Mike's on the phone.
Okay.
Why don't we open up his line, Jeremy? Let's hear what Mike's up to.
Okay. Okay, I'm over.
Yeah, hey, Mike, you still there?
Hold on a second. Mike?
Mike Andrews. Maybe he's goofing around on Facebook instead of listening to the conference.
Yeah, I'll just open the lines up. So. I opened everybody's mic up. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We've been on the call for about an hour. I was thinking of heading to the gym, getting a good workout. Because if you don't keep in a fit body and you don't keep healthy, then you can't get up tomorrow and buy real estate. So I'm going to call it a night. What do you say, Jeremy? Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, guys, don't forget, we're going to be at Mike's York Street on September 30th at 6:30. Come on out. We'll be in Reading on October 1st, And October 11th and 12th, we're going to be in Lafayette Hill at the 2020 Wealth Conference. So lots of things coming up. Great time to go to seminars. And thanks a lot for being on tonight's call.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
yeah,
thanks.
stay tuned to our meetup for some of those upcoming meetings.
All right. Good night.
Right.
Bye.